Welcome to MB ShoeDoc, where we explore the world of quality dress shoes for men. We will cover the art of patina and shine, learn to care for our shoes, review the brands that you love, and introduce brands that you've never heard of. Hello my friends. I decided to start a new kind of video segment here. This is going to be Shoe Talk with the ShoeDoc. So I've got a couple shoes here. Both of these are from a emerging brand, TLB Mallorca. So if you hadn't seen already, I did an unboxing of each of these shoes. Definitely recommend that you check those out. But what we're talking about today, we are going to compare the TLB Artista line to a shoe from their main line. What are the differences? Is the Artista line worth the extra cost? So first off, the Artista line, these are about 350 euros, which comes out to about 408, call it $410. The main line is about 300 euros, and it comes out to about 350 in US dollars. So we're talking like a $50 to $60 difference between these two. Now the one thing that I will point out, the Artista line, so this one is in museum calf. This is the 107 on the Picasso last. It's an Adelaide. Beautiful design. But this one's in museum calf. Only the Artista line has museum calf. So if you are wanting something in museum, you really don't have a choice. You'd have to go with the Artista line. So again, this is the 107 on the Picasso last. This is the Douglas, and this is on the Oliver last. Now this is also an Adelaide. It's unique because it's got a wingtip as well as the Adelaide broguing. This one is a hand finished color. This is the Old England leather in maroon media, so a medium brown. But this is a hand finish, where this one is finished at the tannery. So let's take a little bit closer look at each of these and compare and contrast them. Let's point out what is similar between these two. Well, they're both really high quality shoes. All full grain leather on both. If you look at the stitch density on the uppers, it is a very high stitch density. It looks to be the same on each of these. They are both Goodyear welted. They both have a closed channel sole. That means you don't see the stitches underneath. Now what are the differences between these? So the Artista line has a very, very slim beveled waist. In fact, this is the slimmest waist on any shoe that I own. Probably the slimmest waist on any shoe that I've seen, even pictures of, except for maybe a bespoke type shoe. Now, the main line, still a beveled waist, still a thin waist, but this one's not as thin. This is a little bit more common, a little bit less of a bevel to it as well. But again, both really nice closed channel and beautiful shoes, but this is the Artista, which is the slimmest waist I have seen. Now, as far as the welt stitch density, the Artista line, they say it's 8 stitches per inch, which is a little bit tighter stitch density than this one. Now they don't tell you what the density is, but it looks to be more like 7. So it's still a pretty high stitch density compared it to a Meerman, which looked more like 6. You know, does that make a functional difference? You know, not really. 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches per inch, the sole's not going to fall off. You know, so really it just doesn't matter that much. This is just a little higher attention to detail. So if you are into those finer details, then that higher stitch density might matter to you. It's a little bit finer fudging, so the fudge wheel setting is a little bit finer, well, because it's a finer stitch density. This is still a very attractive fudging on the sole of this one. So it's not bad at all. This one's just a little bit finer. The other thing, they have sanded the sole edge on this. So now I didn't really shine it up, but you could put a really high shine on this sole edge. This is more of a standard sole edge. It's got a little bit of a groove to it, so it's not sanded completely smooth. This is pretty common. Most shoes have this. This is uncommon. The other thing that they point out to me is that this beveling carries through up under the heel. So that makes for a little bit stronger waist, a little bit more attractive look here. Where this shoe and most other shoes, the bevel kind of slopes off and stops at the heel block. Now again, does that really make a functional difference? Yeah, you could argue that this is a little bit stiffer. I don't think that's that big of a deal, but again, it's these little fine details. If those kind of fine details matter to you, then you're going to be blown away by the Artista model. Let's look at the heels on these. So both of them are a pretty tight heel. It is cut pretty tight to the leather uppers. I think the Artista is cut a little bit tighter, but gosh, I mean, this is pretty close. And the main line is absolutely not a wide, chunky heel. They are both cut pretty slim. I don't really see a taper to either of them, so I'd say that that is pretty similar. Now, something that you can't see, the Artista line, they use a real leather heel stiffener. So the heel stiffener is inside, on the inside lining here of the heel. Whereas this one, they don't tell you what it is, but most commonly in shoes it is like plastic or some sort of composite or fiberboard, something else of a heel stiffener. The benefit here is that this will mold to your heel over time, and so give you a little bit more of a comfortable and custom fit, as that leather will mold to the heel, whereas plastic or fiberboard is not going to mold so much to the heel. So looking at both of these, $350, $408. Do those fine details, does that make a $50 to $60 difference? I don't know. It's up to you. The one thing that stands out to me is not so much the finer details, but it's just the different models. So if you want museum calf, you can only get it in Artista. Is it worth the $408? Absolutely, it is worth the $408. If you really wanted a wingtip Adelaide, well, this model is only available on the main line. Are you getting a lesser shoe by picking a model from the main line? I don't believe you are. This is also an amazing shoe. So really, to me, it just comes down to the model and the look and the design that you like the best. Both amazing shoes. You really can't go wrong with either one. And the question is it worth the extra $50, $60 to go with an Artista model versus something on the main line? It really is completely a personal choice. If those finer details, if they really matter to you, then I think the Artista line is absolutely worth it. If those finer details don't matter to you, the main line's an absolutely fantastic shoe. I particularly wanted this Adelaide. I wanted the museum calf. I like this design of the broguing and this shape, and so if I wanted this shoe, it's only on the Artista line, and to me it would absolutely be worth it to get exactly what I wanted. If they made that same model on the main line, I don't think I would have any problem purchasing the main line. And really same for this one. I wanted this Adelaide without the medallion. I wanted this wingtip broguing while still being an Adelaide. I wanted this maroon Medio hand-painted finish. This was on the main line. I didn't hesitate at all to get this one off the main line. So basically, again, it comes down to personal choice. To me, it is just finding the model that you like the best, and it doesn't matter which line it's on. You're getting a fantastic shoe at a fantastic price. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you guys will like this video. So I encourage you to subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you much.